In this video, we're going to be working on the XRT Pro diesel downloader. This is some type of diesel tuner. The person who sent it is in the auto repair industry, and it was sent from Texas, from Scott. Scott said that when he plugs the HDMI port in this device, he has to wiggle it up and down for the port to work. So there's something going on with the HDMI port. He also mentioned that he soldered one of the legs of the connector, and that did not help solve the problem. He called in this morning to check on the status, and I told him that I'm glad that he called because he did not include the mailing form with this device, and I did not know who this device came from, and I did not know what's wrong with the device. So now that he called, we can go ahead and start working on it. Let's check the circuit board or the HDMI port under the microscope and see what's going on. So where did Scott solder? He said he soldered one of the legs. Right here, we do see soldering attempt on this side. This side is a ground pin. Ground is not gonna prevent the HDMI port from working because we have other pins on the HDMI port that are connecting to ground, and we have the other side which is also connecting to ground. So if one leg is broken, it's not gonna matter, and it's not gonna prevent the HDMI port from working. But what we're gonna do is inspect the HDMI pins to make sure everything is good. And I do see a slight shift on the right on this pin here. So is it making a solid connection? And it doesn't look like it's making a solid connection. What about this one? This one is not making a solid connection either. So it looks like there was some type of pressure or force that was put on this HDMI port, and as a result some of the pins are not making a good connection. This one is loose also. This one is loose. Oh, okay. So a lot of loose pins on the HDMI port. Now we do not have the same exact port in stock. The port looks different. So what we're gonna do, since the pins on the inside they look good, we're gonna go ahead and resolder the pins on this connector. The connector itself looks good. We're gonna apply some flux onto the pins. We're gonna solder the front pins, and then maybe we can touch the back also, so we can have a long-lasting fix. Okay, so we have a little bit more solder than we need, but that's okay because we're gonna spread the solder on all the pins so we can reinforce those pins, and any excess we can just wick it off and everything will be super nice and solid. Okay, and then we can just wick the access from here. Just want to make sure all those pins are making a very solid connection. Okay, and now we can test every single pin to make sure everything is good. Okay, so let's start by testing the pins. This is solid, 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 solid. And if you notice, the pins are very, very solid, so this should be a very long-lasting fix. I do not like to do Mickey Mouse job where we just send it, it works for a few days and then it stops. Let's take out the board and also reinforce the legs. Looks like there's only one screw on this board. Very good. And this one looks good. I do see some solder that was left on the connector itself, on the body of the connector. Let's just try to make this look nice and pretty. See, there's a lot of solder there. And that's it. Micro USB port. Looks something like this, and we do have this universal adapter that we can use. Okay, and we're gonna plug it right here. So device came on. As you can see, device is on, but we want to see if HDMI will work. That's why this device was sent over here. Okay, I do not know how to put this machine on HDMI, or if HDMI is used for that purpose. Maybe it's used for another purpose. I don't know. We'll see. Let me call Scott and see if we can get an answer. Scott is not answering.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
As far as the HDMI port itself, it tested very good, and I'm gonna run over the pins one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's no specific manual that shows what that port does, but I'm reading some threads where people are complaining about the HDMI port having problems on this, and it's communication between this the port and the vehicle they're working on. So this port is probably not for an external display. It's used to transfer data throughout the many pins that's on that HDMI connector. So that's it. We're gonna invoice the customer, package it, ship it back to him. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment if you have any questions, and we'll do something else in the next video.